get tightened up, tightened up, tightened up, tightened up.
It's a brand new dance and we about to go live. Tighten up, Nashville, rep the 615. First you tighten 2 steps, step to the right. Then you tighten 2 steps, step to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere, game face, yeah, we got it on. Sticking out our chest, beating it like it's King Kong. Countdown, 3, 2, 1. It's about to get rough. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up.
Tighten up, let's get tightened up. Tighten up, let's get tightened up. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong.
Tighten 2 steps, step to the right. Do the tighten 2 steps, step to the left.
Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing this evening? Welcome into another edition of Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, and we're going to have a good one this evening. I know a lot of y'all are probably going to get this maybe in the morning, but just wanted to get on here right quick and have some fun with y'all as we are now 1 week away from the NFL draft. 1 week, 7 days until the world of football descends upon this here city of Nashville, Tennessee. And I am beyond excited. I can't wait for it. It is going to be one heck of a party. RG, what's up? Rizzo, what's up? Dale, what's up? Appreciate some of y'all staying up with me this late. I apologize I didn't get to record sooner. With that, you know, I had some things going on yesterday, so I definitely apologize for that. I appreciate y'all still working with me and supporting me anyway. I guarantee you once this draft is over, some things are going to start going back to normal. That much is a fact. So I thank y'all for sticking with me on that one. And make sure y'all spread this out to your friends. Spread this out to all the Titan fans out there or to any football fans out there. Spread this show out. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter. Definitely share it out there. Let everybody know what's going on with this because we got a great show going on. What's up, Terrence? How's it going? We got a lot to talk about. We got the schedule was released last night, so we now know we of course knew who we were playing, but now we know when we are playing them. So we know when we're playing teams and things like that. And also, we'll see how many primetime games we have. So that's a pretty big deal. And then, of course, OTAs have began. So we're definitely talking about, some of the OTAs. That's the first phase of the offseason. And so that got started this week. And then, of course, last but not least, of course, I have a few pick my brain questions. And we're going to go into the next to last draft preview as we stay in the trenches. Last week we talked about defensive linemen. This week we're going to go to the other side of the ball, the big Hawks on the offensive line. So definitely make sure y'all share this show out to everybody. Let everybody know what's going on. And if you do that, you're doing your job. You are doing well, and I appreciate that. And we are going to keep this show going. And we're going to have just a whole lot of fun on that. But while I got y'all on here, before we do get into the meeting, into the nitty-gritty of Titan news, also remember, if you don't already live in Nashville, or if you are coming for the draft, remember on Thursday night, April 25th, the first round of the draft, I know a lot of people want to be downtown and all in the middle of First and Broadway. And that's all well and good. But if you don't want to be around that traffic, stuck, having to pay like $50 for parking and things like that, come on over. My fraternity brothers and myself of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, we are going to be doing draft night with the Sigmas. And we're going to actually be doing that at the Nashville Urban Winery. If y'all saw my video on Facebook or Instagram earlier, I actually was broadcasting, was just doing a quick video from the winery. That's where we're going to be next Thursday night. This time next week. Well, before about I would say by a few hours, but next week we will be there, and of course we're gonna have a lot of fun. 715 Main Street Avenue. Main Street is the address. Tickets are $20 now, $30 the day on the day of. And so what that ticket includes, we're gonna have plenty of food while supplies last. So get there early because food will sell out. Food will go in bunches. So you know how people like to eat. So we're gonna definitely have some good food. We're gonna be having some. We're gonna have some wings. We're gonna have some barbecue wings or some flavored wings. We're gonna have some fish. We're gonna have some good fish. We're also going to have we're gonna have some chips. Chips and spinach dip, chips and queso, chips and salsa. We're gonna have some fruit and everything, and a whole lot more. So we're definitely gonna have a lot of food in store for you. Also, we're gonna have a few giveaways as the draft is going on. Of course, Titans and Truth will be bringing you all of your draft coverage that day. So we'll be talking about each of the picks that are happening up until when the Titans pick at 19, or if they pick later. So all the way through the first round, we're going to be talking. We'll be talking Titans. We'll be talking NFL. If you know people who are fans, even of other teams that are in the city of Nashville are coming, lead them this way to the draft night party with the Sigmas. Draft night with the Sigmas. And I'm going to tell you another reason why. I heard this on the radio today on, I believe it was 104.5. And what they were talking about, I think Paul Kaharski was mentioning this earlier. A lot of the bars downtown are going to be closed to the public. A lot of those bars are going to have private parties like NFL, ESPN. Some of them are having private parties and they're closing it off to the public. So if you didn't get specifically invited to that party, you're not going to be able to get into that spot. A lot of those bars are going to be fully closed to the public for those private parties. Some bars, like the Rock Bottom Brewery, I believe, are partially closed. But like Nashville Underground, Hard Rock, Old Red, I'm not sure about the Whiskey Room or any of the honky tonks, but quite a few of those places are closed to the public, which means they're not letting you in the building with that. So, instead of trying to be downtown there, why don't you come on over with us? We'll be open to you. For like I said, with $20, you get food included. There's definitely going to be a bar where you can purchase beverages, beer, mixed drinks, anything like that. We're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have a little trivia. We'll have some giveaways as far as, maybe making the next pick, seeing if you could guess who's going to be picked to what team, things like that. And so it's going to be a fun time. So if you're looking for a good time in Nashville during the draft on the first night, come on down to the Nashville Urban Winery for draft night with the Sigmas. Definitely take a look on my Facebook under Chris A. Newell or the TNT Enforcers page. Also on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth. Also on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. A lot of information is going to be there. You can always contact me if you got any questions. So come on out to that party. We're going to have a lot of fun. Now, again, like I said yesterday, we had the schedule release. So the schedule is now out. Single tickets are now available for games. And I'm going to quickly run through the schedule of who we're playing and when. And I see some other people coming in. Dale McElroy saying not going to be an easy schedule. I agree. Joseph saying another offensive lineman needed. And let's see. Do we need tight ends in this draft? How about another quarterback for Marcus? What are our other needs going into the draft? I'm going to get into that in just a bit, so we're definitely going to talk about that. But let's run through the schedule that we have coming up for 2019. We open up the year week 1, September 8th, noon game against the Cleveland Browns, the hot, hyped Cleveland Browns. with Baker Mayfield, with Jarvis Landry, and now OBJ on the team with Myles Garrett. So, the dog pound is going to be rocking that day. And on a show later before the season starts, I will do my game-by-game predictions for the season. I know some people have already done that, but right before the season starts, during the preseason, I will be doing a show, of course, game-by-game predictions. So definitely stay tuned for that. Week 2 will be our home opener as we host the Indianapolis Colts on September 15th. So that pesky Andrew Luck and gang coming to town. And it would be really nice to go ahead and notch that victory, get that monkey off our back, get it on out the way. So that would be actually pretty cool if we could definitely do that. But week 2 against the Colts. But now this is where it gets a little interesting. After that, week 3, just 4 days later, on the road in Jacksonville. And unfortunately, this is our only, and I did not stutter, our only primetime game. It just seemed like for some stupid reason, the NFL just wants to stick us with the Jags on Thursday night, and that's like our main primetime game. NFL, you could change it up a little bit. Put us against the Colts. Put us against the Texans. Put us against anybody else that might could draw something. Come on. Of the 2 teams, who is the most exciting? Tennessee Titans. Are the Jags somebody you want to watch? No. Who they got besides Nick Foles? Don't worry, I'll wait. No offense to the Jags fans. Well, no, I take that back. Yes, I do. I do give offense to the Jags fans. There's nobody on that team worth watching. Leonard Fournette, maybe. But a lot of people will probably be trying to see about Nick Foles. That's about it. So that's kind of a tough stretch. But then we basically have a mini bye after that, 10 days until we head down to hot Atlanta to Mercedes-Benz Stadium to take on the Atlanta Falcons week 4. That is a game I'm going to be trying very hard to go to on the road. So it's just a little under 3.5 hours from here. So I think I'll definitely be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for that game. Week 5, October 6th, we come back home to host those pesky Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. And this is a game I think Titan players and Titan fans need to have marked on their calendar. This is a revenge game because Buffalo just snuck away with the victory thanks to Nick Williams dropping a sure touchdown pass. And so, we don't have to worry about that anymore. We got a better receiver in Adam Humphries. But that could be a definite revenge game right there against the Bills. And then week 6, October 13th, a late start, 3:25 kickoff is against the Denver Broncos in the Mile High City. And, we haven't had a lot of luck in the Mile High City, but we'll be going up against Joe Flacco and the gang. And, the last time we faced the Broncos, we beat them 13-10 here at Nissan Stadium. So that could be definitely a good game for us to win. And this could be a good stretch of games to get on a roll. But then after that, on October the 20th, another 3:05 kickoff at home against the surging LA Chargers. So we get Nick Bosa, we get Phillip Rivers and company coming in, Melvin Gordon coming into Nissan Stadium. So we need to definitely knock out the lightning bolt that is the Chargers. So we need to take them down on that week 7. Week 8, October 27th, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it's that rematch, Marcus versus Jameis. And this is a big year for both of those quarterbacks because it is basically do or die for both of them. This is a contract year for them, So, they're both trying to prove to their teams that they deserve a long-term contract. We're going to definitely find out if they're worth it. Then week 9, November 3rd, we go down to Carolina to take on Cam Newton and the Panthers. Now, we don't know if Cam Newton's going to play at all this season, but you still got Luke Kuechly on the other side, who is a vastly dangerous linebacker, and you got Christian McCaffrey, among others. So, Carolina's still a very, very formidable foe. Then a game that I think is going to get flexed to Sunday night is, and especially if we're hot at this point, we got the Kansas City Chiefs coming in to Nissan Stadium November the 10th. So we got Patrick Mahomes coming here. He's going to definitely try to light up our defense, but I think we're going to stand tall against them. So that's going to be a very, very good game against Chiefs Kingdom coming in here. Then we have our bye week at week 11. So after that game against the Chiefs, a well-deserved bye. Definitely later, but that's good. Gives us time to get some players healthy, get some guys back, and just to rest and recuperate a little bit before we have another home game right after Thanksgiving against the Jacksonville Jaguars at 3:05. So that's another 3 o'clock kickoff, and that should be another game that we should win. So definitely get Jacksonville on that, sweep them. We're still in good shape. Week 13, December 1st, we head up to Indy to face those Colts again. So, it'd be really nice if we can get one of two against Andrew Luck, because I'm kind of sick and tired of having bad luck against Andrew Luck. It's time for that to end, y'all. It's time for this pesky streak to stop. And we've got to stop Indianapolis at some point. They got Darius Leonard. They got Devin Funchess now on the team. And so Chris Ballard is trying to build a monster up there in Indy. And we have to be able to combat against that twice a year. Now, week 14, we take a nice little trip December 8th out to the West Coast to the Black Hole. The last time we played the Raiders in Oakland, we faced a struggling Derek Carr. They've given away pretty much all of their good players, but they do have three big-time. They have 3 picks in the first round. We don't know who they're going to bring in, but they got a lot of picks, and they could be bringing in a lot of key contributors onto that team, but I don't know exactly how they're going to look. We'll definitely see how they're looking by that time. And then we're into the last 3 weeks of the year, which is really weird. I know a lot of y'all thinking, you haven't mentioned the Houston Texans yet. Don't we play them? Yes, we do. We play them 2 out of the last 3 weeks of the season. At home December 15th on week 15 against Houston. Then we play them on week 17 in Houston on December 29th, which that could be for a wild card spot or it could be for the division title again. Of course, in between that is a Sunday, December 22nd tilt with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, which that game could also be flexed to Sunday night as well. So there is some opportunity for the Tennessee Titans to get on to Sunday night, but they're going to have to basically tear it up this season. This is not an easy schedule, but it is a schedule that I think we can still do very well in. Teron Davenport of ESPN, the beat writer for the Titans, he predicted us at 11-5, and he even predicted us getting hot, winning the first game against the Browns, losing against the Colts, but then reeling off 7 wins in a row before we lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. So at that time, he has us at 8-1 going into the game against Kansas City, which I guarantee you that will be Sunday night, which, of course, as Terrence alluded to, we have the 9th most difficult schedule in the league. But that usually doesn't mean much because, hey, you don't know how teams are going to look. Teams that you think are going to look really good end up looking really bad. And teams that you think that were just outright horrible end up being some of the best teams in the league. So we got a road ahead of us, but it is a road that I think we can navigate through and get some big-time wins. So I am definitely looking forward to this season. I've already renewed my season tickets. So I'm going to be there in section 143, screaming loud as I can once again. So we own. But now we're going into OTAs because that did begin this week. And the guys started reporting back in on Monday. And one of the people that did speak was Marcus Mariota. He was definitely glad to be back. He got the receivers together last week to throw the ball around and get kind of familiar. He did a lot of resting and recuperating in Hawaii. He put on about 5 to 10 pounds, so he is definitely trying to get healthy and stay healthy. So that is something that I find important. He mentioned that it's all about trust, and that's something that he's got to make sure to continue to earn is that trust. Delaney Walker back, not fully participating yet. They're going to monitor him and things like that. There may be some days where he is out on the field, other days where he is not until about training camp. Then he'll probably be fully ready to go. Kevin Byers said some of the same things that Mike Vrabel was talking about as far as, hey, it's time for us to go from good to great. Him and Jim White even mentioned, hey, going down the halls of St. Thomas Sports Park, be like, they might say, hey, how you doing? And he said, hey, I'm not doing good. I'm doing great. And it's basically a mindset that they're saying, you know what? We're not going to be mediocre anymore. 8-8, 9-7, that's not what we're trying to be. We're trying to be 10-6, 11-5, 12-4. We're trying to go from good to great. So that is something that I feel encouraged about, and that's something that they need to strive for as being not just a good football team, but being a great football team, a perennial playoff team that is going to be in the playoffs every single year. That is going to be vastly important for getting free agents here and things like that. So I definitely like what a lot of players were saying. I like what Coach Vrabel was saying as well. And that was something that he really talked about was, hey, we got to get out of the middle. 9-7 is good, but, we did that 3 years in a row. It's time for something else. So I definitely like the message that was conveyed there with that. So now we're going to go into Pick My Brain. Pick My Brain. We're going to have a little bit of fun with that. I got a few questions out here that I'm going to definitely try to address. So let's see. Give me just a moment. I know I had a few questions on here, so I'm definitely going to answer them. And let's see. Here we go. I had Butchie Joseph, and he basically mentioned it here. Offensive lineman. One offensive lineman from free agency is not enough. We need to draft another offensive lineman. Otherwise, Marcus is literally going to get killed. Hope that doesn't happen to him. But he also basically said another offensive lineman needed for us. Do we need tight ends in this draft? How about another quarterback? What are our other needs? Yes. Interior offensive line is definitely a need, and that's something that we're going to go into. So definitely going to talk about offensive linemen. Other needs that I'm thinking of, definitely interior defensive line. We can use another edge rusher, just in case we let Cameron Wake go after this year to go along with Harold Landry. Wide receiver is definitely an option. We need a number 2 besides Corey Davis. Now, later, and I do mean later in the draft, then you can look at tight ends. You can look at a guy like, I think, a Joseph Oliver from San Jose State, or Velasco from, I believe that's West Virginia. You could definitely look at some of those guys. Caden Smith from Stanford. You can look at some of those guys later. You don't necessarily need a TJ Hawkinson or a Noah Fant so early in the draft because you need guys that can contribute right away. Can you say those guys contribute day one and push Jonnu Smith out of the way? I don't think so. That's not going to happen. So, some other needs, again, defensive line, pass rusher, wide receiver, late tight end, and depending on what they do in this situation, maybe another running back. Quarterback, I think they're fine with Marcus Tannehill, and then you got Logan Whiteside, who they signed to the practice squad. He was formerly with the San Antonio Commanders in the AAF. So that's definitely some needs that I think we need to address. Let's see. Dale coming in saying we have to nail the first 2 picks in the draft. I agree with that. He also said, haven't heard much news about Conklin's health. Now, Jack Conklin, tried to return from that ACL tear maybe a little bit too soon with that, and it kind of got re-aggravated later on in the year. I expect him to be 100% fully healthy and able to play the right tackle position. I know a lot of people trying to move him into right guard or left guard, rather. No. Jack Conklin is a tackle. He is a right tackle. That is exactly where he's going to stay, without a doubt about it. Terrence says, let's see, not difficult schedule. Let's see. Okay, Joseph saying the Chargers game at Nissan Stadium is another revenge game from last season. Now, I agree with that. You're absolutely right, because we could have gotten a 2-point conversion and won, but since the stupid play call came in, that's how the Chargers got out of there with that win. So, yeah, revenge definitely on our side. I definitely could see a revenge tour going on with that. So, let's see. I think he said those 2 matchups against the Houston Texans is just plain weird. Who made this schedule? No more 9-7 crap. I agree. I don't know what the NFL was thinking when they were making this schedule. I mean, it's obvious, they want the high-scoring offenses. They want the popular teams to get all the love, like Green Bay, like Dallas, like New England. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the media's just falling in love, hook, line, and sinker with the Cleveland Browns because they got OBJ. And that's what I'm wondering. If the Cleveland Browns did not get OBJ, would the Browns be as hyped up as they are? I venture to say no. They would not be hyped up as much as they are if they did not trade for Jarvis Landry. And that's just honest truth on that. So I think I had another question from Butchie. Butchie says, I can see us trading back to 30 with the Packers and receiving a 2nd-round pick. What do I think? Depends on who's there at 19. And, I just did another mock draft, a 7-round mock draft for the Titans. I'm going to tell y'all what I'm going to pick, who I selected in just a moment. But I would definitely say you don't want to trade back too far, but you want to get some good value for why you're trading back. So with Green Bay, you're moving back 12 spots to 30. It wouldn't be just that 2nd-round pick along with that first, of course, going back to 30. That 2nd-round pick will have to go. Maybe a 4th-round pick will have to go as well. Not necessarily the 3rd round, even though I wouldn't mind that either. But yeah, I mean, that would be a possible trade on draft night if it comes to that. But and because I think the guy that we may want, one of the 3 guys that I would want could still be there in either Garrett Bradbury, Christian Wilkins, or Dexter Lawrence. One of them 3 that I think is going to be there, if not 2 of the 3. So, yeah, it is definitely an exciting time with speculation of trades and things like that. We'll definitely see how it unfolds. So I believe those were all the questions I have for Pick My Brain. I'm trying to see if I missed anything else. Well, that's okay. If y'all come up with a question and I didn't get to answer it, just leave it in the comments below or leave it on the TNT Blue Enforcers page, and I'll definitely answer them accordingly. Okay? But now let's get into the meat of the matter, the offensive line. And there are some good ones. There are definitely some good ones coming out. Definitely highly touted. My personal favorite number 1 lineman is Garrett Bradbury. Now, remember, I'm talking about offensive linemen that I think the Titans are going to draft. So that's why you're not seeing Cody Ford or Andre Dillard or anything like that, because they play a position we don't need, and that's tackle. We don't need a tackle. We need a right guard or a center to push Ben Jones aside to guard. And that's exactly where Garrett Bradbury fits in. 6'3", 306. An excellent run blocker, can get to the second level. Definitely fits the loan scheme. And so definitely Garrett Bradbury looks like a guy that doesn't have a lot of weaknesses, if any. I definitely love the guy. I think he would be a great pick here at 19. Either him or Christian Wilkins would be the pick for me. But one thing about him, he gets to the second level relatively easy, fits the zone scheme. He's athletic, quick off the snap, and he doesn't give a lot of pushback. So even when a defensive lineman is trying to get a push against Garrett Bradbury, it ain't happening, ladies and gentlemen. It is not happening at all. What's up, Marcus Mariota? How's it going? So I definitely wouldn't mind that pick at 19. Another guy who is soaring up the draft boards is 6'4", 308-pound Chris Lindstrom from Boston College. And, I think Chris Lindstrom, number one, has a great first step. So like how defensive ends are having get off, well, Chris Lindstrom has that on the offensive side. He definitely moved quickly to let the rest, definitely to I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Let me go back. Chris Lindstrom, yeah, great first step. He has a good punch off the snap, so he basically gets his hands into a defensive player. And I got to watch him against Clemson, and excuse me for that. And against Clemson, he held his own against Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence. He did not get pushed around at all. So I definitely like that about Lindstrom. He has a little bit of a mean streak to him. And I definitely like that. I definitely like a player who has some swagger to him. And that's what led them to their tag team championships. Definitely a great accomplishment. 6-time WWE Tag Team Champions. I like the Usos. I've been liking them for a long time. He's extremely athletic. So that means, he knows what he's doing. So I definitely like Garrett Bradbury and Chris Lindstrom. And so Lindstrom, of course, not as athletic as Bradbury, but he can hold his own and pick up plays I can't remember if it's Tarzan or the Jungle Book. No, not as athletic. Chris Lindstrom, not as athletic as Bradbury, but he's intelligent, picks up multiple blocks very well, solid in both the run and pass. I don't know what tangent I was getting off on. I'm seriously losing my train of thought, so y'all forgive me for that. I think I'm just getting closer to the draft is exciting, but it's draining at the same time because you got a lot to think about. So, Aloha Blackjack 1414, how's it going? Marcus Mariota saying, I think Bradbury 19, Tillery second round will be a good move. Will be an awesome move. I think we need another Taylor Wan somewhere along the line. Big, nasty, and offended when people get to the quarterback. Yeah, I definitely agree. Chris Lindstrom and Bradbury have some nasty to them. Definitely. I do like that. As I like also Eric McCoy, the center out of Texas A&M. Like where I say Bradbury is a good run block, is a great run blocker, a good pass blocker. So he's better against the run. Eric McCoy is better at pass blocking than he is run blocking, though he is still very good there too. He's very athletic, doesn't give up a lot of ground, can get out there to the edge of the field for screen passes and things like that. So I definitely think that Eric McCoy could be a very good player. He'll be athletic, could be definitely available somewhere in the early part of the second round. So that could be very, very important to the Tennessee Titans. Now, another offensive lineman I'm looking at, I got three more I'm going to tell you about, is Elgin Jenkins from Mississippi State. Definitely very versatile. He's very strong, able to gain some leverage on a defensive lineman at first contact, but he does have a little bit of trouble if the defensive lineman gets his hands on Jenkins first before Jenkins can get his hands on the defender. He has some trouble with that. And can tend to lose ground if the defender gets their hand on him first and just use the bull rush to push back into the quarterback. Let's see. And, he's a very solid blocker. Can't get to the second level. Definitely somebody that can be developed and has some good upside to him. Elgin Jenkins, I think, could be a very, very nice piece to this Tennessee Titans organization. He's not very athletic, but does move pretty well. Definitely. Connor McGovern is another one for Penn State. Slated to go maybe third, fourth, or fifth round. But one thing about him, I watched him against Michigan and Kentucky. He's a solid blocker, another nasty guy. Like Elgin Jenkins, I don't know if he's got any nasty to him, but Connor McGovern has some nasty to him. He has some, he has that, I mean, he's nasty. He gets after everybody. He does not stop. He's very solid on both the run and the pass. Like I said, he got some nasty to him. Doesn't get a lot of pushback, but he does hold up well. And definitely, definitely happy for McGovern getting his chance here. Again, he's a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker. But he picks up double teams very well. So he may hit with a guy that the center is blocking too, but then he can disengage and go to a linebacker or a blitzing defensive end coming through that hole. So I thought that would be pretty good for that. And last but not least, a local kid, I'm going with Alex Bars from Notre Dame, 6'6", 320. And when I tell you, this man is a mauler. This guy not only gets after the quarterback, but gets after the running back or any receiver that gets in his way. So, I just think that, with Alex Barnes, there's still some upside to work on, but he's versatile. He's a mauler, people mover. He's athletic. He's underrated, and definitely can catch passes. He could definitely get some action with Taylor Lewan up on the line. He normally plays left guard, but he has some experience at right guard and right tackle. So he's basically a guy that you could put anywhere, and he'll do just fine. So I definitely like some of that. And like I said with Alex Bars, he's a people leader. He's the people leader. He's underrated, very athletic. I put on here, can react on pass blocking better than solid. So, I think Alex Bars is a very, very solid player, could even be better. And, we're definitely going to see where Alex Bars ends up going at some point in this draft. But I like Alex Bars. He's definitely worth a look and definitely worth a pick with that. So, so I want you to answer this question for me down in the comments section. who do you think of the 5 of the 6 is going to be the very first lineman off the board? So, I mean, Tennessee Titans could do a lot of damage in this draft, and I am definitely looking forward to that. So, I mean, Blackjack says, sorry if you already went. Sorry about that, y'all. Blackjack says, sorry if you went over this already, but how do you feel about Saffold? Personally loved it, being a Titan fan since 98. Absolutely. I love the Saffold signing. I thought Saffold being signed was incredible. I thought it was a great pickup for the Titans. Let's see. Joseph saying, last 3 years went 9-7. New England Patriots went to the Super Bowl. Those same seasons. Those two things just need to stop. Like, seriously. You're right. That does need to stop. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. So we got to get out there and we got to stop them and everything. So that's some of what I thought about with the offensive linemen. There are some other offensive linemen that I didn't think about, like Michael Dieter from Wisconsin, who I kind of like, maybe in the second or third round. You also got Ross Perlsbacher from Alabama. And then you also have, excuse me, and then you also have a Bo Ben Schweiel. He's also a offensive lineman from Wisconsin. I think Dieter plays more of a guard. Bo Schweizel ends up playing more tackle than anything else. So those are a couple of other offensive linemen I did not look at that I will be looking at. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. I'm trying to see if we have any other questions before I give one more comment. Well, I didn't have any other questions, but hey, if y'all have any other questions, again, put it in the comments section or in Facebook under TNT Enforcers, and also Instagram or Twitter. I'll definitely try to answer your questions as quickly as I can. But I normally don't save this till the last week of the month. But granted, we're close to draft time. I have got to talk about this. I don't know if any of y'all saw earlier tonight the Mel and Todd mock draft on ESPN tonight. Todd McShay made the pick for us. And he ended up drafting a corner at number 19. Todd McShay picked Jeffrey Tillery. Jeff Tillery out of Notre Dame to be our defensive tackle. That was in the second round. First round, DeAndre Baker from Georgia. And I'm thinking about Todd McShay like, what in the world are you doing? Don't be an idiot all your life. Pick according to who you think. Pick according to what the Titans are looking for. You don't need a corner. We got 4 corners on the team already. We don't need another corner. So even though I was going to try to save this for next week, I got to get it out now. And it's just an early one. Todd McShay, shut your pie hole. You don't know what you're talking about. Sounding stupid like that. That's got to be the most ridiculous mock draft I've ever seen. And that is worse than Mel Kiper putting tight ends to us in the first round. I mean, if we need a defensive back that bad, we're going to go to like the 5th or 6th round to do that. So I don't know what's up with that idea, but I don't like it at all. But everybody, that is about all the time that I have on the show today. Again, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Y'all can subscribe below. Also, beyond, definitely got the draft coming up in less than a week. So definitely make plans for that. Get the Fan Mobile app for the big experience at the draft. Because on the other side of Nissan Stadium, they're gonna have like the draft events. They're gonna have concerts and all sorts of fun stuff going on. So you definitely want to be on the lookout for that. So that is something that this party is going to be a ball. I can't wait for it. Let's see. Zari says, this is the latest you've ever made a video. But hey, we're going to have some fun with it. Let's see. Let's see. Dale saying, I always wonder why we don't run 2 running back sets. Now, sometimes I don't mind that as far as getting both Derrick Henry and Dion Lewis on the field at the same time, and then you can decide between the two. But you don't really need to run a lot of 2-back sets. They need to run more 3 wide receiver sets. I will say that. But we're going to definitely see what Arthur Smith has up his sleeve as far as that. Let's see. Blackjack says, ha. And Zarice, I was thinking the same thing. I'm a Chattanooga guy living in Hawaii, so I know it's late back home. Yeah, that's true. Definitely. But, I'll put video content up at any point of the night if it's going to be entertaining for everybody listening. But I know I'm forgetting something. Again, make sure y'all check out the draft party, draft night with the Sigmas. If you're coming into Nashville for the draft, you want to be a little bit away from downtown, but still want to get that draft feeling. Come on to Nashville Urban Winery, 750 Main Street. It's right on the other side of Interstate 24. You will not regret it. I'll be there. We'll definitely have my fraternity. Some of my fraternity brothers will be there. We're going to be welcoming all fans of the NFL. So come on in, come on down, join us. A lot of the bars on Broadway are going to be closed to the public. So you definitely want to come where you'll be invited. So that's basically all I got to say about that. If I forget to, mention something on that, I'll of course mention it on Facebook. So we're definitely going to have some fun next week. I look so forward to it. And next week we'll be previewing the wide receivers, and even some corners, and that we can pick later in the draft. And then we're going to be ready to get down on Thursday. So everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and Truth. Let's see. Blackjack says, I feel like this year we have to let Mario the throw boy. He's been held back maybe by the run that people forget he could throw the ball. I agree. We got to throw the ball a little bit more, and we got to let Marcus be unleashed on the rest of the NFL. So that is something that that I think is going to be fun. Definitely, how they have, what was I trying to say? With the music, the glitz, the glamour, we're going to have some of that. So come on down to the Nashville Urban Winery and join us. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. But I thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and Truth. You see Chris on the radio dial. Make sure y'all hit me up, TNT Blue Enforcers. Also, Chris A. Newell on Facebook, Instagram at Titans_N_Truth, and also on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all have a great night. Tighten up. Let's get it done.